Hi, this is Megan Jackson. I'm here with sketch number 6 from the Creative Memories November 2021 virtual crop. And we have a single page sketch here. We have 3 photos on here. One of the noticeable elements that we've got going on here is we've got 2 squares, and I indicate they're 10-inch squares, that are kind of, they act as page mats, I guess you could say, in there. And they're just slightly offset from each other, a little bit of a twist to them. And then they've got the double mats around the photos. There are 4x4 and 4x6 photos. And then they've taken some border elements and kind of come in here at an angle to go with the way that they tilted that page mat. So the page I'm going to put together, I'm going to be using the Emerald Gemstone collection, and I'm going to be tweaking this ever so slightly. And the reason is because the paper I wanted to use, I didn't have a 10-inch square that I could get from it. I could get a 9x9. So I thought that would work okay. It would have been great if I'd had the 10x10, but I didn't. So I'm going to be working with a 9x9. I'm also going to be working with some mats from the Variety Mat Pack. So I picked out a background page. And it's this, the other side is this really pretty, kind of, I call it the Northern Lights paper, but I do like this tonal, kind of has a little bit of a stripe effect going. It looks really nice with this, almost like it has a tie-dyed effect to it, but it's that tonal kind of that goes with that dark sea green. The other side is the multicolored blue and green. But this one, I think I had like a 9x12. I cut it down to a 9x9. So I've got that going. Then what I decided to do is I was going to use the deep sea green or dark sea green to go behind it. And I went ahead and cut it down to a 9x9 and then realized once I was going to get into the twisty part of it, you really couldn't see most of it. So I actually went ahead and cut out just a, it's a 9-inch long on each side bracket shape. And the way I have to set my paper up, because I don't have as much room, is instead of doing a twist effect, I'm going to do like a shadow effect with my squares, and then I'll give those a twist together. So I'm going to maintain kind of that angled look. I did like that effect. I'll run my border down the side, but instead of doing, a twist with that background, I'm going to go ahead and just do kind of that L shadow shape. My borders that I'm using, I have these really lovely laser cut borders from the Emerald Gemstone collection. I'm going to come in on this side with the green Northern Lights photo, and then I'll come in with this leaf detail there. So that is kind of the base of the layout itself. The sketch does have a border detail across the middle. You can see that there, and then the embellishments. One thing I've got, since I don't have quite as much room, I'm working with a 9x9 as compared to a 10x10. I am a little bit more tight on space to use the 4x6s. So I am going to use some mats. I liked these mats. I'm going to come in here with this one. This will be the 4.5 by 6.5 inch mat. And then I will come in, I'll double mat. I'm going to use some of that dark sea green. And this mat is cut to a 4.25 by 6.25. I might trim it down just a little bit more and go with more of a 1/16 of an inch wider than my 4x6, just because I think I want to have a little bit more of that mat show. And then I will come here in the bottom. I'm going to scoot. I actually have to scoot this up off my mat, or my background mat here, because I got to get my 4x4s in here at the bottom. And I am a little tight on space. That's just kind of how the nature is, since I'm working with that 9x9. So I have one solid 4x6 mat here. And what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and trim this down. I've got a couple of 4.25 by 4.25 inch mats. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and trim this down to the 4.5 by 4.5. So I'll go ahead and cut off one side of it. This I can use for something else. I could probably use it for like a title, or I might use it up here for doing the title. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is I am going to go ahead, I'm going to chop it on the diagonal. This is non-directional, so I really don't have to think about which direction I need to go. I'm going to chop it on the diagonal. It's non-directional and I have a square. So I can come in, I can mat like this, I can mat like that, which is probably what I will do. I'm going to move this up a little bit more. And I'm going to come in here like such. And I'm going to go ahead and plan to mat like this. And I'm going to have to make some adjustments because I'm either going to have to come in here real tight with my 4x4s, which is totally acceptable. Like it's a sketch. You can do what you want, what works. Or I'm going to have to cut things down just a little bit more to get them to work a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and make a quick adjustment on this. I do want to see more of my, so I'm going to go ahead and take off 1/8 of an inch on 2 sides. So I can see a little bit more of that mat. I like to see, yeah, definitely like seeing more of that mat. And I'll probably go ahead, and these are set to be 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. I'm going to take them down to 4x4, which means I'm going to have to, when I put my photos on here, I will have to make my photos closer to maybe 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, which is okay. When I was first mapping this out, it was kind of all in theory. It was hard for me to get an idea of how things were going to fit. So I can definitely tell because I'm using that 9x9 square. I don't have quite as much space. And I do want to be able to see my background pieces. So come in here like such. And I can see how that's starting to take shape. So even if I wanted to keep them side by side, very close side by side there, and then a mat up here. So overall, I'm really pretty happy with it. I might mess around. Maybe I'll have this down here at the bottom. There's various ways I could do this. I could sit here and I could go ahead and I could cut this in one more. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to show you the reason why. I wanted a little bit more of a bracketed effect, and by going ahead and chopping this down one more time to make 2 smaller triangles. I'll do that one. I'm going to grab this one behind and cut that as well. Now I've got 4 triangles to work with. And I can come in and figure out how to either go like such and do the same thing on both sides so that they're even, or I can mess around with making it so that they're fully bracketed like this, which I think is what I wanted to do. So I need to mess with that a little bit more, but you guys can kind of see in general how this is going to work together. Have room for those photos, and I have room for some embellishment or title details up there at the top. So I'll go ahead and finish this up, and you'll see a picture of it at the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I can't wait to see what you create. Thanks.